Oi, me! Ah! Hello, standalone microphone, Mick. Wait, didn't I eat you? No, you got the old gaming headset, Mick. Probably because he looks like me. Well, damn, if only we didn't all look alike. Oh well, at least he's dead and we won't be seeing him again. Only because the headset broke. Otherwise he'd just respawn like the rest of us. Well, what do you want? Last I checked, you belong inside me, so... Bitch, I'ma bribe you! With 77% of a feminist wage gap video. You're on!
Listen up. There's still not equal pay for equal work anywhere in the world.
False. I'll go false.
And it seems most women are not even angry about it. But we should be.
Explosion imminent. Evacuate the
Hold
facility
on. I
immediately.
thought I'd fixed that.
Warning. Reactor core is at critical.
There. Fixed.
So let's set a new goal. From now on, equal pay is no longer enough.
Boy, aren't you lucky that none of the coffee spilled onto your shoe? That would be like, 2,500? Yeah, let's go with that.
Because women need more. Our haircuts are more expensive.
Really? Nah, I'm gonna call bollocks for that, because I don't believe you're going to be charged, like, what, $20? When a man would get $15 for the same 12mm buzz cut? If you want to get your hair colored, permed, puffed up, all nice and shiny, then yeah, it would probably take a couple hours at a couple $100 more, but I mean, if you're willing to spend that money, then I don't see what's the problem.
Our underwear is ridiculously more expensive. It's simply more expensive to be a woman than to be a man.
Okay, now you've gone and pissed me off. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go through this commercial again and count all the felonies. I'm gonna count all the property damage and all the felonies. And then I'm going to compare the woman who has to pay that with a man who pays none of that because he hasn't destroyed anything. And let's say all of that takes place over the course of 10 years. I'm pulling a number out of my ass. 10 years. And then we're going to create a quote-unquote wage gap out of that. So that's gonna be one window pane, one hood of a car, one coffee mug, one mug of coffee, and assault charges. The screaming is going to count for general disturbance, and that's, well, fuck it, let's count in those shoes too. So if a woman does decide to riot and do what you showed in this commercial, she would be responsible for the damages of at least one window pane, one car hood, one coffee mug, one mug of coffee, and the medical bill for cuts and burns on the assault victim. Now, according to Home Advisor, the cost of repairing windows varies depending on size and type, so I just thought this might be akin to a bay window, a simple large one, and decided to settle on the cost of the average of $1,000. The car hoods also vary. For one from 2008, I saw a price range from $200 to $500, but a more recent car, let's just double it and turn it into $1,000. I'm gonna be generous and say that the coffee and the mug cost together $30 US and leave it at that. And finally, the medical treatment. According to plasticfacialsurgery.net, the costs also vary, so I decided to round it to only $4,000. And assuming the guy wasn't too badly burned, I'm not gonna factor that in and just dump it with the surgery cost. Total it up, and now you're looking at the costs of around $6,030. And this is in the least expensive scenario. Now let's get into the big stuff. In the worst, and I mean worst case scenario, the costs skyrocket. Let's go over it from the top. One pair of coffee-stained shoes, which is not criminal damage, but still. One large window pane, which is criminal damage. One car hood, one coffee mug and contents, one tailor-made suit replacements, medical bills for cuts and burns, cost of reconstructive surgery. Let's assume she managed to damage the engine of the car too, and any additional cooling or mechanical modules under the vehicle that were damaged from the jumping. And one pair of high-heel shoes, which she may or may not have broken while she was smashing the window. And let's also include the legal fees for liars and cost fines, and let's get researching. Let's say that the glass was tempered or whatever, and the cost of the window and installation should pop to 2,000, especially if it was something big like a 2x5 meter single giant damn thing. The shoes thing with coffee, let's say $250 for a new pair of quality sneakers. The car hood stays the same, but should also consider the engine and everything. Fuck it, let's just replace the whole car. That's $20,500 for a 2017 Passat, at least $35,500 for a 2019 Avalon. That's not even out yet as of this recording, but I don't care. And 2018 Volvo comes around at $41,500, and I'm not even looking into the more ridiculously expensive luxury cars, just these popular mid-range vehicles. A mass-produced suit would cost them around $100 to $200, but the tailor-made ones average around $2,000. The high-heel shoes, let's settle on $250 as well, same as the sneakers. And now, let's get into the medical bills. If that coffee was hot enough, this could cause some severe burns, and the costs of that are goddamn insane. Modern medicine may produce wonders, but it won't produce them for free. Even in cases of low-intensity damage, treatment costs can rack up to $207,000. And if the complications kick in, if all things go wrong, that's extra $35,000 for disfigurement, psychological damage for $75,000, $107,000 for distorted skin, $120,000 for infection costs. And if the skin grafts fail or there's delayed damage, that's another $110,000. Not including the base cost, this means a maximum of $447,000 in damage. But since it's only half a face, I'm gonna compromise and go with the figure that they're giving me as a base cost, which again is $207,000. If, and that's a pretty big if, you can still afford a liar, expect to shell out $10,000 to $25,000. The fine for property damage in the UK is £5,000 at this level of damage, so that's what, 6.6 thousand euros and 10 years jail time. And the coffee mug might go as high as $49.99, and the company-funded coffee is free. So to summarize, let's just say that in the worst case scenario, you're looking at costs of $286,429.99 USD. Wow! Worst campaign ad ever. Now let's get to the actual wage gap. With a median earning of $35,073 a year, a hypothetical man would, throughout the 10 years, earn $350,000. If he gets promoted after 5 years and earns a 20% raise, that jumps up to $385,000. If a woman who would earn the same amount of money after 5 years does what the ad tells her to do, and smash the window, jump on a car and kick a coffee mug into her boss's face, that's going to give her $175 for the 5 years, at which point she will be left with no job and a hefty penalty of $6,000, so she only gets $169,000. And now has to work 5 years at a minimum wage job earning $15,000 a year, bringing her up to $250,000. In the worst case scenario, she's going to be over $100,000 in debt, spending the rest of the 10 years in jail, and be never able to find another job at this kind of position. In an extended 20-year scenario where she does not miraculously get sued for all the money she will ever have in her entire life, and only pays $100,000 as well as being put in jail for 10 years, she will be left with, say, a measly $150,000, if any at all. While the man, if he continues to get promoted at 20% extra every 5 years, will rack up $939,400. This would finally bring us to wage gaps, respectively, of 43 cents a dollar in the best case scenario, a fuck you jail in the 10-year scenario, and the whopping 28 cents a dollar the man earns in the extended 20-year scenario. Jesus! If you're a feminist, that's what none of y'all are getting taken seriously. I have never seen anything more counterproductive, at least that I can think of right now. Hell, we teach children not to have temper tantrums because they won't get them anywhere, but apparently you, adult, intelligent woman, believe that going Saxon hell on everything is a good thing. I don't even know how to outro anymore. Seriously, I don't know what to say to that. End the video!